NHL regular season recap, night 67. First game was the Blackhawks taking on the Vancouver Canucks, and Nick Foligno did his darndest to try to make this game competitive, but at the end of the day, Vancouver is just too good of a team for Chicago, which is weird to say considering the history these two teams have had, but nonetheless, Vancouver does get the W here in the first. Foligno and Pettersson with the 2 goals there. In the second, Foligno with his second of the game, followed by 3 from the Canucks. Dakota Joshua, Brock Besser, and Ilya Mikheyev, making it 4-2. Canucks headed to the third. Gutman does score on the power play to make it a 1-goal game, but Thatcher Demko and the Canucks defense hold the line as they've done a pretty good job doing all season. It's a 4-3 final for them. For the goaltenders, 25 of 28 for Thatcher Demko. Not his best game, but definitely not his worst. Peter Mrazek, 22 of 26. He would probably like to see 1 or 2 more stops from him, but nonetheless, kind of what we've learned to expect from this Blackhawks team as a whole. A good win here for Vancouver. The Capitals taking on the Carolina Hurricanes in a Metro Division matchup, which we may have expected to be relatively high scoring, but ended up being pretty low scoring. The only 2 goals that came in regulation were both in the second period. For the Canes, Sebastian Aho from Seth Jarvis. For the Caps, Martin Fehervary from Wilson and Stromer. We go all the way to a shootout in this one where Evgeny Kuznetsov scores the only goal. A pretty big game from both goalies, but especially from Darcy Kemper, who stops 28 of 29 in regulation, plus 3 of 3 in the shootout. It's a 2-1 shootout win for Washington. The Ducks visiting the New Jersey Devils in this game was a surprising outcome, to say the least. The Ducks win this one by a final of 5-1. Akira Schmid, not all that great for New Jersey. Adam Henrique with the first 2 goals of the game. Michael McLeod makes it a 1-goal game before we head to the third, but in the third, Kaloran Terry and a hat-trick goal from Henrique, a shorthanded empty netter, make it a 5-1 final. Again, just really not that great from Akira Schmid. John Gibson stopped 18 of 19. Did leave the game early. Lucas Dostal came in and, of course, had the shutout bid for himself. But just a disappointing effort from New Jersey, who, again, the goaltending issues are there. Schmid has not been as bad as he was earlier in the year, but you still need a couple more saves, especially against this Anaheim Ducks team. The Golden Knights taking on the Ottawa Senators, and this game was pretty even, at least through the first period, but the wheels fell off for the Sens hard in the second. In the first, it was Eichel, Norris, Grigg, and Marchessault with the goals, making it, again, 2-2 after 1. In the second, about halfway through, Waugh, Stevenson, and Barbashev score 3 in the final 10 minutes of the period, and it's pretty much over from there. There are 2 more goals in the third, one from Wild Bill Karlsson and the other from Brady Tkachuk, but again, too little too late from Ottawa. I don't know where they go from this point. I feel like it's got to be the end of the road for Coach DJ Smith, but I'm not a GM, so I'm not the one making that call. Jonas Korpisalo, 25 of 31. Logan Thompson, 20 of 22. Korpisalo needs to make a couple more saves, and this one's hard to blame him on a bunch of these, but you just need a couple more saves. The final game of the night, San Jose and Colorado, and this game went about as you'd expect it to go between these two teams. Colorado 9-10-2, moving up to first in the Central after this game. San Jose 9-19-3 after this game, good for 8th in the Pacific, and it went exactly how you'd expect. Goals in the first from Nichushkin, Rantanen, and Miles Wood. In the second, McKinnon and Tomas Hertl with his 10th, so that was good to see. In the third, though, Johansson brings it right back for the Avs. Tomas Hertl scores a second, and then Nathan McKinnon on the empty net with just under 5 minutes to play. Alex Georgiev is pretty good, stopping 25 of 27, a pretty needed bounce-back game for him. Blackwood, not his best game, just 23 of 28 in the shot department there, but a big 6-2 win for the Avs. And that's it for NHL regular season recap at night 67. Not the most exciting day overall, but 6 games on a Sunday, or 5, whatever it was, you can't really complain. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I think we have another 5 or 6 on Monday.